The Otero Mesa, at over 1.2 million acres, it's a vast treasure southeast of Alamogordo and west of Carlsbad. Most of it is public land, and about 500,000 acres are desert grassland, a rare and disappearing habitat for some 1,000 native species. Kevin Bixby has been working to save this place for more than a decade. A court win against the administration of George W. Bush protected it from increased oil and gas drilling. But there are fears it could be at risk again.
So our concern is that if Otero Mesa is opened up for full-scale oil and gas development, that there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of these well pads out here, each one scraping off 5 acres of vegetation, piling up the topsoil, building a road to access it, pipelines to access it as well, most likely, or else lots of trucks coming and going.
Trucks and development don't sound like a good idea to Alex Abair. He likes the peace of this place and its access to natural wonders hard to find anywhere else. Abair studies plants at New Mexico State University.
Well, this is a hotspot for diversity, especially with grasses, and it's unusual in that it's not very disturbed. It's hard to find a place like that in the United States where there's undisturbed, pristine land, and this is a great spot for it, particularly with grasses. And it's just a great place to explore species diversity.
This is so important. Grasslands throughout North America we've lost most of them. As an ecosystem, they've been hit harder than almost any other type of ecosystem. Most of the grasslands in the Great Plains have been converted to farms. Out here we have a very significant treasure because we have managed to save this large desert grassland on Otero Mesa. And you know, as grasslands have disappeared, so too have the wildlife that depend on grasslands, species like pronghorn and prairie dogs and a whole host of grassland birds. That's why we need to save a place like this.
On our journey in the Otero Mesa, we saw many examples of wildlife, including this third herd of pronghorn in this amazing desert grassland. The animals and plants of Otero Mesa have little company. Dirt roads mean relatively few people are here at any one time. And oil and gas development has been minimal. But Kevin Bixby showed us what can happen when drilling is allowed.
Well, this is one of the HACO wells that have been drilled out on Otero Mesa. They've drilled 2 so far, and they have the green light to drill a 3rd. So for each of these wells, a 5-acre well pad is constructed, and that basically means scraping off all the vegetation and piling up the topsoil in the corner of the well pad.
There have been efforts to save this mostly public land from additional development. Former New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson even asked the Obama administration to create an Otero Mesa National Monument, but that didn't happen. In addition to providing a rare habitat for animals and plants, the New Mexico Wilderness Alliance says thousands of ancient petroglyphs and archaeological sites can be found here. An impressive sight for Alex Abair.
It's the largest panels I've seen before. I've been to South America, Central America, and all over the United States doing archaeology, and I've never seen panels like this before. And they're intricate drawings. They're confusing. I don't know what they are, but they're fascinating, and they're everywhere. You walk a step and you find a new one.
Haneen Omari was also impressed. A student with Abair at New Mexico State University, Omari studies microorganisms found in Otero Mesa. But she also marvels at the petroglyphs providing clues of ancient civilizations.
I think it's awesome. I mean, I've honestly never seen petroglyphs to this scale. Usually you'll see like something on the side of a big mountain. It's just like a little drawing. But yeah, here they're amazing. Like, it looks like a map, honestly, like Alex said that earlier. But I think it just shows that humans do have a history with utilizing the land, but I think the difference between now and the past, the way that they utilized the land, they lived more simple, but it was also like they weren't trying to destroy the land to extract goods from it. They were just utilizing it as a tool instead of a means to an end kind of thing.
While scientists study the remnants of past civilizations, there's also a focus on modern times and a modern way of life that often neglects natural treasures. So what could convince people to appreciate places like Otero Mesa? Alex Abair has an idea. More people should experience it.
People just don't have a lot of experience going outside. I think if people get the experience of going outside and seeing what's different about this place, they'll be excited about it, and just realizing what's at risk. And it's not just this habitat that's at risk. It's a network, and we're all connected. And when things here are destroyed, it affects everybody. And it's a cultural treasure. And if this gets destroyed, it's gone forever. And we might have photographs, but it's lost.
Losing Otero Mesa to oil and gas drilling is unthinkable to Kevin Bixby. He says the fight will continue.
We believe this is the largest desert grassland remaining in North America. There's about 500,000 acres of grassland out here. And most people don't realize that much of southern New Mexico was originally grassland. And after the Civil War, we had large herds of livestock introduced into the area, massive overstocking of the range. That, in combination with drought, led to most of those grasslands disappearing and becoming, through a process of desertification, becoming scrubland dominated by shrubs like mesquite and creosote.
Besides wildlife, Otero Mesa also holds what could be a priceless treasure as drought continues to threaten southern New Mexico and all of the Southwest. The New Mexico Wilderness Alliance says this land sits on top of the Salt Basin Aquifer. The Alliance says it could be the largest untapped freshwater aquifer left in the state of New Mexico. Above ground and below, advocates say the Otero Mesa deserves permanent protection.